Well, the Red Sox certainly glad to be back at Fenway Park as the fans make their way in for Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox are back at the friendly confines at Fenway Park. They take on a very good Minnesota Twins team. And tonight, Clay Buchholz will be on the hill.
Well, Don, actually, he's been pitching very well over the last 4 or 5 starts for the Boston Red Sox, including last time out against the Minnesota Twins, where he really had all of his pitches working. You'll see in this game for Buchholz that he had a very good curveball as he picks up a strikeout right there. You can see the fastball right here, the two-seamer coming back to the inside corner, and then a cut fastball that really gets away from that right-hander. So pitched very well in that game, but unfortunately lost the game against Minnesota in 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits allowed, only 2 earned runs, and made 102 pitches. In 15 career starts in June, which is coming up right now, he is 12-1 with a 2.56. He certainly hopes to repeat what he's done in June, this June.
Clay Buchholz coming into tonight's outing with a record of 2-6. Red Sox trying to bounce back after winning just 1 game away from Fenway Park on this last road trip. We're back with more at Fenway right after this. Audi, experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service, thank you New England for 60 great years. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to cloudy Fenway, but so far precipitation-free. The Red Sox and Twins play Game 1 of a 4-game series. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, this Minnesota Twins team, the Red Sox just saw. They swept the Red Sox in Minnesota, and they are playing fabulous baseball under their first-year manager, Hall of Famer Paul Molitor. They have won 30 games already this season, or 30-19, on top of the American League Central. 20-7 was their record in May. Most wins in any month since 1991, and 11-6 record in one-run games. So they're winning close affairs so far, and they come into Fenway Park for the first of 4 games. Well, Gary Streisky, the Twins are playing well right now. The Red Sox are not.
Yeah, on the complete other side of the spectrum, Don, you know, when you get your principal owner to address the media just 2 months into the season, you know it's either going to be really good or not at all, and it certainly was the latter. John Henry addressing the media about the concerns and the underachieving Red Sox thus far this year.
Very disappointed. It's been an unacceptable 50 games. I think there's probably no one in the organization that does not feel that way, and these guys have got to turn it around.
So the Red Sox will try and get back on track behind the arm of Clay Buchholz, taking the mound. First pitch coming right at you.
As Clay Buchholz has finished up his warm-up tosses, headed back to the Red Sox dugout as the Red Sox begin this 4-game series tonight against the Minnesota Twins, and hoping to turn things around here as they return to Fenway. Here's where the Red Sox are currently 22-29 coming into this series. They are 4.5 games back of the Yankees and in last place to begin this 4-game series against this very good Minnesota Twins team, as the Twins come in first place in the American League Central, have a half-game lead now over the Royals thanks to their terrific May, and they continue to play great baseball as they have come into this series winners of 8 of their last 10 games. On the road, though, they are under 500. They're 11-12 away from Target Field, and they begin this road trip. Of course, had last night off as it turned out, as the game was rained out, and we'll play 2 here tomorrow. Day baseball at 1:30, and then the nightcap at 7 o'clock here at Fenway tomorrow. So 4 games coming up here in the next couple of days between these two teams, and John Farrell and the Red Sox trying to turn some things around as they get back home. And tonight it starts with Clay Buchholz, as Buchholz match up against Mike Pelfrey, and about to take the field here at Fenway as Buchholz comes in with a record of 2-6 into the start against Minnesota. But as Jerry highlighted, not a bad outing at all. Very good outing at Minnesota against the Twins, giving up 2 runs in 7 1/3. Red Sox take the field tonight. As they do, it's mass mentoring night at Fenway Park. Let's go to Natalie Piercy and Ashante Kermias for the Twins lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
Thanks, Mr. Asillo. My name is Natalie, and this is my mentee, Ashanti. Here's tonight's Twins lineup. Leading off, the second baseman, Brian Dozier. In right field, Torrey Hunter. At first base, Joe Mauer. At third base, Trevor Plouffe. The catcher, Kurt Suzuki. In left field, Eddie Rosario. The DH, Eduardo Escobar. In center field, Aaron Hicks. The shortstop, Danny Santana.
That's job with tonight's Red Sox starting pitchers, presented by your local New England Audi dealers, as Clay Buchholz makes his 11th start of the year. 2-6 with a 4.33 earned run average, 62 strikeouts to 16 walks, and opponents hitting at 264 against Buchholz. Look at his last 3 starts. He is 0-2, but with a very good earned run average, under 2 at 1.99, and in 22 2/3, 19 Ks, and batters hitting under 200 against him in the last 3.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They have dropped to 8th in the league with 31 errors in 51 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base, and Bogarts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli, the first baseman, left to right. Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Rusney Castillo, and Sandy Leon doing the catching for Clay Buchholz.
Well, tonight's umpires are brought to you by Plain Ridge Park Casino, coming June 24th, the closest casino to Boston. Mike Muchlinski has got the plate with the crew chief Mike Winters at first base. Mark Wagner is at second base, and Marty Foster is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
They're ready for you, Jerry. Now the Red Sox and Twins begin this series under 48 degrees conditions, and a breeze in from right field at 7 miles per hour, and under cloudy skies to begin the game. But so far, no precipitation. Certainly a good sign here after all the rain that came through, and of course it caused the postponement of last night's game. So ready to lead it off here is Brian Dozier. First pitch of the ball game from Clay Buchholz, and it is at the plate, a foul ball. The indication by the home plate umpire Mike Muchlinski is Sandy Leon jumped out there aggressively.
Well, we saw this team just a while ago on that last road trip. The Minnesota Twins, they played very aggressive baseball, much like their manager Paul Molitor did in his career, and they were a tough matchup for the Red Sox on that road trip.
Coming off a win yesterday, come from behind against the Blue Jays, I should say, on Sunday. Finale that series against the Blue Jays. As a check swing, but Dozier does go around. 0-2.
The second pitch of the game right there, a changeup from Buchholz, put the changeup up and out of the strike zone, but Dozier could not hold up.
Sandy Leon working again with Clay Buchholz tonight in a tandem. And a swing and a miss. Good start for Buchholz. Strikes out Dozier to begin the night.
Well, Buchholz gets ahead in the count and expands the zone. Actually goes out of the strike zone with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. So 3 pitches, 1 quick out for Clay Buchholz.
And 1 down. It brings up Torrey Hunter. 279 for Hunter. 7 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Running a 9-game hitting streak coming into tonight's game, hitting at .314 along the way. And a swing and a miss. He has played in 2,277 games. Among active players, that's 3rd right now in the majors. And returning to Minnesota, where he's reaching a lot of top ranks organizationally.
Yeah, that'll get your attention right there, but it was a changeup. It was supposed to be down and away. It stays upstairs and just missed Torrey Hunter. You see the rotation on the pitch. It was the off-speed pitch, a changeup about 78 miles an hour.
Now a ground ball base hit through the left side for Torrey Hunter. The Twins get their first base runner of the night.
And Torrey Hunter grabs the fastball that time from Buchholz on the inside part of the plate and puts it between 3rd and short. He now has a 10-game hitting streak. Came into the game with tough numbers against Buchholz, 167, but picks up the base hit right there.
Here are the updated numbers now. The 10-game hitting streak for Torrey Hunter. 1 on, 1 out for Joe Mauer. .276 for Mauer, a home run, 30 runs batted in.
See what the Red Sox do here. In Minnesota, we saw them really play Mauer to the opposite field. They're doing the same here, but Sandoval's off the line, and they have moved Hanley Ramirez closer to the line in left field to try to prevent the double.
It's kind of where Hanley played a lot in that Texas Rangers series as well. Over towards the line in left field.
You're kind of pinching that hole at shortstop between Sandoval and Bogaerts.
At the bottom of the zone for strike 1 to Joe Mauer. Over the years, keeping Mauer on the field has been a problem for the Twins, but so far this year, he's played in 49 of 50 Twins games so far. And has reached in 42 of the first 49 games. Fly ball center field. Mookie Betts going back. Shy of the track. He'll pull it in for the 2nd out of this first inning.
You mentioned the cool temperatures tonight, and what breeze there is, it's blowing in from center field.
It's time to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars. You can vote using the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at RedSox.com today. Make sure to vote early and often. 2 down. Torrey Hunter is at first base, and here's Trevor Plouffe. 279, 8 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Takes the strike, and Buchholz jumps ahead. Yeah, Twins with 30 wins on the year. Come in at 30-19. 19-7 at home, 11-12 on the road. And so far they've done well against the American League East. 7-2 against American League East teams. There is strike 2. Plouffe didn't like it.
Cut fastball again from Clay Buchholz in perfect location, the outside part of the plate. Trevor Plouffe thought the ball was away.
Torrey Hunter at first base, 2 down here in the Minnesota first inning. Very high for ball 1. .379 in the last 7 games for Plouffe. Had a very good series against the Red Sox in Minnesota. And as Plouffe bats now, 2 outs in the inning, Kurt Suzuki waits on deck. Swing and a miss. Fastball that was up, and Plouffe strikes out. So the Twins don't score. Red Sox coming up. No score as the Red Sox come to bat. The Twins starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. From Mike Pelfrey, his 10th start of the year. 4-1 with a 2.77 earned run average, 26 strikeouts. Opponents hitting at .253 against Pelfrey. As Dustin Pedroia takes strike 1 from Pelfrey. Last Tuesday against the Red Sox, beat them a 7-inning, 1-run, 5-hit effort. He walked a batter and struck out 4. Looked very good against the Red Sox at Target Field in Minneapolis. There is strike 2, and Pedroia down 0-2.
The Red Sox will see the fastball, the slide of the split-fingered fastball from Pelfrey. It was very good, as Don mentioned, against the Red Sox last week.
Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. The arsenal for Pelfrey, 68% fastball, 16 breaking balls, and 16% changeups.
And that changeup, as I mentioned, a split-fingered fastball.
They see one right here on the 0-2. Rounding it left side to third is Plouffe on the run and in time to get Pedroia. Well, it's Mass Mentoring Night at Fenway. Let's go to Natalie Piercy and Ashante Kermy as the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers.
Thanks, Mr. Ozrello. It's Ashanti and Natalie again. Here is tonight's Red Sox lineup. Leading us off at second base, Dustin Pedroia. In center field, Mookie Betts. The DH, Big Papi Ortiz.
In left field, Hanley Ramirez. At third base, Pablo Sandoval. At first base, Mike Napoli. The shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. The catcher, Sandy Leon. In right field, Rusney Castillo.
Nice job, as it is Mookie Betts who bats right now with 1 out in the inning. That's hitting at .246 coming in. 1-1 pitch from Pelfrey is in there for strike 2. Betts didn't think so on a pitch that grabs the inside edge. Yankees lead the division, and they're on the West Coast, taking on the Seattle Mariners. Able to beat Felix Hernandez in last night's action. Tampa Bay also on the West Coast. They take on the Angels again tonight. Both teams were in action last night on the West Coast. 2-2 pitch down and away, full count. David Ortiz back in his familiar 3 spot in the order, waits on deck. In the air, foul. .770 ERA for Pelfrey coming in. 11th best in the American League. Only run he allowed last time out came in the second inning. Mike Napoli had an RBI single that scored David Ortiz in that outing. Popped up, shallow right. Brian Dozier out on the outfield grass. And there are 2 outs in the first inning.
The Twins defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 9th in the league with 31 errors on the season. Trevor Plouffe will be at third base. Danny Santana, the shortstop. Brian Dozier at second. Joe Mauer, the first baseman. Left to right, Eddie Rosario, Aaron Hicks, and Torrey Hunter. And Kurt Suzuki doing the catching for Pelfrey.
Hall of Famer Paul Molitor in his first year here with the Minnesota Twins. A very successful venture to this point. And the Twins coming in first place in the American League Central to begin this 4-game series. Former Twin David Ortiz batting with 2 down in the inning, takes strike 1.
That's interesting. We were in Minnesota and they did not shift on David Ortiz. Here they are shifting on him at Fenway Park.
Love's facing his old team. 63 games against the Twins, 20 home runs, a .332 average. It's been his first 6 major league seasons with the Minnesota Twins. (1997) through 2002. Here at Fenway Park against Minnesota in 27 career games, hitting at .343. Now a fly ball struck pretty well to deep center field. Aaron Hicks going back onto the warning track to make the catch. Almost spun around the wrong way, but he's back there to make the grab. It's a 1-2-3 first and scoreless after 1. And tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. Scoreless as we head to the second inning. And Kurt Suzuki leading it off here for the Twins. Suzuki at 237, 2 homers and 14 runs batted in. Buchholz with 2 strikeouts in the first inning, did allow a base hit.
Now Suzuki, one of those guys that's had very good success against Buchholz. You see the numbers, 9 for 18. Couple of doubles, 3 RBIs.
Sits safely in 13 straight games against the Red Sox, hitting at .417 last 13 games against Boston. And a ground ball out to shortstop. Bogarts for the first out of the inning. Following Red Sox postgame coverage on Thursday night, stay tuned for minor league baseball action. The Paw Sox visit the Rochester Red Wings. Tune in Thursday night at 8. One down in the second inning for Eddie Rosario. 298, 2 homers and 10 runs batted in.
Sandoval in very tight at third base, expecting a possible bunt from Rosario. 6-game hitting streak for him, as you can see. But see where Pablo Sandoval is playing right now.
Waved to that pitch, badly fooled, and it's 0-2.
A very good changeup that time from Buchholz.
Rosario starting the year AAA Rochester at 242 for the Red Wings there. 23 games total with Rochester before coming up. And he's done very well here in the big leagues, hitting at 298 right now. Sails outside, 1-2. Rosario now, Escobar waiting on deck. Foul back above us and out of play.
Well, Clay Buchholz down on the belt, as you can see, tries to get squared up on that rubber, and then the big follow through with the high leg kick.
Swing and a miss again, going up top to get it done. Third strikeout for Buchholz, 2 down here in the second inning.
That's a cut fastball from Buchholz. They wanted it down and in. Instead, it goes up and away, but they get a very good result out of it as Rosario chases one that's well out of the strike zone.
So 2 down here in the second inning brings up Eduardo Escobar, the DH. 238, 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. 5 3+ hit games so far in the year, one of them coming against the Red Sox. He's hit much better at home, hitting at .339 at home. .273 away. Most of his games at shortstop, 155 career games at short. 75 at third base, but can play second base and the outfield. Sends this one foul down the left field line, out of play.
And we talked about Buchholz in the open, Don, and it's so unique. In his last 5 starts, with 2 earned runs a few, the Red Sox are 0-5 in that span.
And his record individually coming in 2-6. Fly ball foul off to the left, out of play. In his career, Buchholz with a 3-2 record, a 4.02 earned run average in 9 career starts against Minnesota.
Got the baseball, and they're going to take some pictures of it.
Strike 3 call right at the top of the zone. 4 strikeouts for Buchholz. Inning and a half done. We're scoreless. To the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Hanley Ramirez, Pablo Sandoval, Mike Napoli to bat in the inning. And Ramirez fouls it off to the right, out of play.
That's interesting. Before the game today, John Henry, of course, principal owner of the Red Sox, holding court with the media, and was very blunt, very straightforward in things he had to say, and made no excuses at all for the play of the Boston Red Sox.
Inside out swing and a liner to second base that Dozier handles. It sounded like in talking to John afterwards, certainly something he wanted to do badly and felt like he needed to do at this point with the way the season has gone so far.
Well, you know, he talked about first of all the manager and the general manager, and he certainly gave them a vote of confidence. There's no question about that. He's very pleased, especially with Ben Cherington. He said he's going to be around here a long, long time. He praised Farrell and the coaching staff, and he says we just haven't been good. We've got to play better baseball. They asked if there were going to be changes coming. He said no. He said we feel good about the club that we're putting out there right now. But it was I thought it was very good. I mean, he was very blunt, very honest about things he had to say. He talked about the way the game has changed, for more pitching now and less offense.
You know, it's interesting too, Jared, just watching the games as we have, obviously, every night. You know, the former approach by the Red Sox was to certainly take a lot of pitches, and it seems like the game's going a different direction now in some ways, in that the idea was to get the starter out of the game as quickly as possible. But the problem is now you got so many good bullpens, you don't necessarily want to get to a lot of these bullpens who are coming in throwing 95 miles an hour and having great bullpens. So that theory sometimes is not always working, and it also seems like the Red Sox are behind in a lot of counts.
Well, that was his point. You know, for years and years, the Red Sox have had the frame of mind to work starting pitches, get them out of the ball game, make long counts. And the book is out on the Red Sox. It's been out for a while that they're a team that's going to try to grind down the starting pitchers. So what this is trying to say is, Red Sox hitters have to be more aggressive and look for those first pitch strikes and try to do some damage on them, because they're finding themselves in the hole quite a bit. And, of course, obviously it's tough to hit when you're behind in the count.
3-2 to Sandoval, and he'll work a walk here with 1 out in the inning.
But he made absolutely no excuses for the play of this ball club. I mean, he was very upfront about what's going on. He says the fans should not be pleased. Nobody is pleased with what has gone on so far this season, but still believes in this team.
1 out, 1 on. Sandoval, first base runner of the game for Boston. Mike Napoli hitting at .208, 8 homers and 22 runs batted in. In there for a strike from Pelfrey.
He went as far to call it as bad television. He said he watches every game. He said, and it's bad TV.
Did he go? They checked. No, he did not, says Mike Winters. Red Sox seeing the most pitches per plate appearance in baseball. 4.01 to be exact. Pitches per plate appearance. 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. Napoli is second in that category.
These are the counts you're kind of talking about. Those 1-2 counts that obviously favor the pitcher. It's exactly where pitchers want to be.
Down and away, 2-2.
We got some sound bites from the press conference that will probably be running during the show tonight. There's the last pitch here by Pelfrey, breaking ball. He's trying to get Napoli to chase something off the plate, but Napoli wouldn't chase it.
Outside for ball 3, full count. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Bauer holding on. Sandoval at first base. Lead not terribly large. There he goes, and a check swing foul. So Sandoval off on the 3-2 here with 1 out.
Sometimes you don't see that very often because Napoli is a guy that will strike out quite a bit, and Sandoval does not have great speed, but they still elect to send him on the 3-2 count with 1 out, trying to stay away from a double play.
Off again as Napoli drives one out towards deep left field. This will grab some wall. Sandoval still running. He'll be stopped at third. To second base standing with a double goes Napoli, and it's second and third with 1 out.
That's interesting because that's another thing John Henry was talking about today. Is how few doubles this club has hit this season. Well, here's a double right off the barrel of the bat right there, and Napoli finds that left field wall against the breeze. So with the runner off at first base, Sandoval has no problem making it to third base, and the Red Sox put 2 men in a scoring position.
So second and third with 1 out, and the Red Sox in a good spot here for Xander Bogaerts. Scoreless contest here in the bottom of the second inning. Chance to put the Red Sox on top. Xander with 17 RBIs on the season to go along with a .274 average. Red Sox leading hitter in this spot, 313 is average coming in. With Sandoval at third and Napoli at second. Yanked that and almost threw it away. Nicely blocked by Suzuki, who saves a run.
That's a terrific play behind the plate by Kurt Suzuki. You can see this ball. It looks like a split-fingered fastball that's going away, and somehow he's able to get over and knock that ball down with his glove. I didn't think he'd be able to get his glove to it.
Time call. Sandy Leon waiting on deck, working towards the bottom here of the Red Sox order, as Bogaerts tries to do some damage here in the second inning. Bogaerts went around very defensively there, trying to hold up, but does offer 1 and 2.
Yeah, that pitch had a lot more movement on it than Xander Bogaerts expected. You can see that ball running right back in on the hands of Bogaerts. Two-seam fastball that time. Now with 2 strikes and 1 out, infield comes in.
Bogaerts chops one to shortstop. Santana's coming home, and Sandoval will be tagged out. Napoli takes third, and Bogaerts reaches at first, but the infield in there helped the Minnesota Twins as they're able to get Sandoval at the plate.
Now what happens, and when you get 2 strikes, your swings become more defensive, and that's why you see the infield coming in that situation. You've also got 1 out in the inning, so the chance for big inning is diminished. Sandoval trying to knock the ball out of the glove of Suzuki, but that was unsuccessful.
So 2 down in the inning, first and third now. Sandy Leon at 190 coming in, no homers, and 2 runs batted in. 20th pitch of the inning for Mike Pelfrey. Suzuki hopping up like he might throw somewhere. Looking down the direction of Mike Napoli at third base. Napoli at third. Bogaerts across the diamond at first. Little bloop to left field. Santana, the shortstop, goes out and gets it, and the Red Sox cannot score. They strand a pair scoreless through 2. Factory collection made right here in New England, just like the national brands, but at local prices. Queen size sets start at just $2.99. Visit Jordans.com for details. Into the third inning, as Aaron Hicks leads it off here for the Twins. And takes a look at strike one from Clay Buchholz. Hicks, the center fielder. You get 259 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. And on the grass at third is Sandoval. Curveball drops in there for strike 2.
I believe that's the first curveball that Clay has featured tonight in the ball game. He's been fastball, cutter, a few changeups, and now the curveball for a strike.
His 30th pitch misses high, and it's 1-2 now to Hicks. And followed by Danny Santana and Brian Dozier here in the third. The center fielder Mookie Betts over towards left center. A gap out there in right center field. And a grounder towards Bogarts for the first out. But tonight is the 12th annual mentoring night at Fenway, where 1,000 mentors and mentees and supporters from youth mentoring programs across the state are in attendance thanks to the ongoing support of the Red Sox. Gary Streisky standing by with Mass Mentoring CEO Marty Martinez. Gary?
That's right, Dio. Marty McFly Martinez, CEO of Mass Mentoring, chilling with us tonight. 500 mentors, 500 mentees on deck, scattered throughout Fenway Park. It's a good time for all. What, 11 seasons running now?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's mentoring night here. It's our 11th year of having almost 1,000 mentors and mentees coming in, enjoying the game, spending time together. It's really a great night that the Red Sox help produce for these mentors from all across the state.
You guys had the breakfast this morning, and you hear Mass Mentor, and it pretty much is exactly what it sounds like, right? You get paired up with a boy, you get paired up with a girl, you guys just hang out, have a good time, go to baseball games. It's pretty cool. Pretty long-standing relationship with the Red Sox. How do you get involved, and how do you guys get involved with the Sox?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a relationship with the Sox for the entire 11 years, and we've been working with them to recruit mentors through the Red Sox Mentoring Challenge, bring mentors, getting them connected to programs across the city. It's been a great relationship, and we've really been able to bring more mentors into the fold. If you're interested in learning more, massmentors.org, hashtag mentoring night. It's a great way to get connected and get back to the community.
Perks of the job. Kid today got blessed with a $20,000 scholarship, right? John Farrell, you met him. TC, you met him. The governor, all that good stuff. You can go to that website to get more information, have a good time, just like my dude right here, having a good time. Mentor, mentee, say what's up to the camera. I'm going to throw it back to my mentors, Don and Jerry.
All right, thanks, Gary. You can learn how to become a mentor at redsox.com/mentors. And tonight, share a story about a mentor you've had or someone you've mentored. Post your story and photos during tonight's game using hashtag mentoring night. They're having a good time tonight at Fenway. Great program, and in a long time now, in partnership with the Red Sox. Met a lot of those kids over the years, and their mentors. 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike to Brian Dozier. Dozier, a strikeout victim in the first inning. 4 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz. He's now retired 7 in a row. That'll skip in for ball 3. So far, only 1 hit allowed by Buchholz, a single by Torrey Hunter in the first inning, and Hunter waits on deck here. Inside for ball 4, and the first walk of the night allowed by Buchholz. Clay in his last outing walked 1, and there's the first walk of this outing.
Twins not much of a running ball club, not great speed, but Dozier does have 3 steals on the season.
Mentioned the base hit by Torrey Hunter, his first time up, only Twins hit. He'll take strike 1. 8 first pitch strikes so far for Buchholz. Seems like he's been ahead of most. And 8 of the first 10, as there's a ground ball to the end of the Red Sox dugout. Fifth time he's had an 0-2 count. Toward first, and back to the bag is Dozier. Well, we will never forget this, no doubt about it. Torrey Hunter going into the Red Sox bullpen. David Ortiz taking it out of the yard. American League Championship Series against the Tigers. Now back with the Twins again, where he began his major league career. Up top, and he chases, strikes out. That's 5 Ks for Buchholz. They're 2.5, no score from Fenway. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third inning, as Rusney Castillo, Dustin Pedroia, and Mookie Betts scheduled to face Mike Pelfrey. Red Sox threatened but could not score in the second inning. They had second and third with 1 out and could not get the run in. Xander Bogaerts grounding into a fielder's choice, then Sandy Leon popping out to end the inning. Rusney grounds one left side. Trevor Plouffe, third baseman, cuts it off and throws him out. And we talked about John Henry meeting with the media earlier, and there are some of his comments.
I think they're confident they'll turn it around. I think there's been a lack of confidence. That's when you lose and it's a pressure packed. There's a lot of expectation. Everybody wants to compensate for that, so there's probably overcompensation going on. There's there's tentativeness both in the field. We had more errors than runs scored in the last couple of games. So we've all seen how painful these games are, and I see it clearly. Painful for everybody in the organization, but I'm confident that we'll turn it around.
Just a bit there of what he had to say. A lot he had to say before the ball game today, and give him a lot of credit for doing that today at this stage of the season. Certainly very disappointed the way things have gone. And I guess, if you are looking for a silver lining right now for the Red Sox, I know this has been brought up a lot, but right now you're in not that bad a shape. You are 4.5 games back of the Yankees. That said, they got to play much better baseball than they have in the last month.
Yeah, I mean, you can circle the 4.5 games. There's no question about that, but you got to play better baseball. And that's totally obvious to everybody in that clubhouse.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned the pressure. Do you see hitters pressing? Do you see guys pressing?
Oh, yeah, I do. Anytime you're playing this kind of baseball right now, in which you haven't clicked almost all season long with pitching, with defense, with hitting, you feel pressure. And you especially feel pressure when you come home to Fenway Park because you're playing in front of your home fans. And I can remember, Don, being on teams where we played so poorly on the road, you almost didn't want to come home. Because that's how bad you feel as a ball club. And you've got to get things rolling in your own house. You've got to make it feel like the other team does not want to come into your house to play. And that's the feeling the Red Sox somehow have to get.
Sort of the way it felt going into Minnesota, sort of the way it felt going into Texas.
Exactly.
Both those teams are doing very well.
They were both playing very well.
Pedroia strikes out, and that is the first K for Pelfrey, out number 2 of the inning.
Split-fingered fastball from Pelfrey to get the strikeout against Pedroia. A good one that time. It really dipped down and dipped to the bottom of the strike zone.
Head to DraftKings.com/Nesson for an opportunity to throw out the first pitch at a Red Sox game. That's DraftKings.com/Nesson to play for free. There's Mookie Betts. 2 outs in the inning. That's popping out to Brian Dozier, second base in the first inning. Lines this to left. Rosario is there to make the catch at the base of the track. Red Sox down in order. We're through 3. No score from Fenway. It feels great, especially when all you have to do to get $100 is open an Eastern free checking account. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. Scoreless as we enter the 4th inning, and Joe Mauer takes strike 1. Mauer flying out to the center fielder in the first inning, and Mookie Betts. Another night where Clay Buchholz is pitching great, but the Red Sox offense can't give him any run support. No 1 to Mauer. He'll bounce in 1-1. Bauer now, then Trevor Plouffe and Kurt Suzuki in the inning. Bauer reaches out and lines one just out of the reach of Xander Bogaerts and into center field. Second hit of the night for Minnesota. A leadoff hit here for Bauer to begin the fourth inning. Now be sure to follow NESN on Instagram to see all things behind the scenes this Red Sox season. Follow NESN at Instagram.com/NESN. Lead runner on for the Twins on a chilly night from Fenway. Out on the monster seats tonight.
We are in June, right, Don?
Yes.
This is June.
This is June.
June is my favorite month, but not tonight.
Little pop up right side. Pedroia equidistant between first and second, puts it away. See a pair of Red Sox games this summer. The 2015 Red Sox double play packs. Create your own package by selecting from a Yankees game and another summer date. Visit redsox.com/double play to get yours today. 1 on, 1 out. Here is Kurt Suzuki. Grounded out to the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, in the second inning. Well, Suzuki broke into the big leagues with the Oakland A's. Breaking into the big leagues in 2007. And a season and a half with Washington, and back to Oakland briefly in 2013, and last year's first year with the Minnesota Twins. Ended up hitting .288 last year in 131 games for Minnesota. Guy likes to play every day. Generally up there as far as catchers go across the majors in games started. Throw to first and back to the bag with a very short lead was Joe Mauer.
At Joe Mauer, 1 steal on the season, has not been caught. The hit and run would be a more likely choice with Mauer at first base than a straight out steal.
Now Twins may be trying to generate something here against Buchholz. They've been unable to do it for the most part. Bauer is going and swinging is Suzuki. May have a chance for 2, even so. And they do. So the Red Sox, with the runner going, still get the double play thanks to that sharply hit ground ball. Suzuki grounds into the double play. feels like $100. Just open an Eastern free checking account in the month of June and you'll get $100. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. Fenway faithful here in the concourse at Fenway Park on a chilly night at Fenway. Into the bottom of the 4th inning we go. No score. And it's on the ground to first base. To the backhand goes Mauer. He'll run to the bag and tag in ahead of the arrival of David Ortiz. Now more from John Henry earlier tonight.
I really think this is, and everybody in the organization feels this is the right team. If anything, I think we should be supportive at this point. I know it's difficult for the fans. I wouldn't be supportive if I was a fan watching these games. Some of these games have been abysmal. We have played like bleep. So, but there's a resolve here to turn it around, and I believe that'll happen.
I'm very confident, certainly, that will happen here. And the Red Sox at home here for 4 against the Twins. And the homestand also includes the Oakland A's. And the turning of the page as far as the month goes here into June, as Hanley Ramirez bats with 1 out in the 4th. Red Sox are off on Monday, then 3 with the Baltimore Orioles. Ramirez down 0-2. And a grounder back to the mound, picked by Pelfrey. Kind of heading in that direction, and he throws to first in time to get Ramirez. 6 in a row now retired by Pelfrey. Now here is the upcoming schedule for the Red Sox after that series against Baltimore. In Baltimore, Red Sox come home to take on Toronto and very briefly the Atlanta Braves before heading out to Atlanta and Kansas City. In that 2-2 setup with the Braves the Red Sox had last year, they'll do it again this year. Pablo Sandoval taking the strike. He walked in the 2nd inning. Quickly down 0-2. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer near you. 0-2 pitch. And Sandoval chops one right side. Diving is Dozier. Gets up and throws out Pablo Sandoval. Great play by Brian Dozier, the second baseman for the Twins. No score through 4.
to Boston, but what a play by Dozier. Watch him dive and actually catch this ball in the air. A lot of times you'll see the second baseman dive and catch one that's down near the ground. This ball is high, and Dozier, who's only made one error on the season, makes a fine defensive play, takes a hit away from Sandoval.
Eddie Rosario leading it off here for the Twins. And Dozier's done it well offensively this year. 9 home runs on the year, leading off for the Twins. And also defensively for Minnesota, big part of their ball club. As Rosario fouls it back, 0-2. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. 2 pitch coming to Rosario, who struck out swinging in the second inning. Now he strikes out in the 5th inning. First out of the inning, and strikeout number 6 for Clay Buchholz.
Excellent change up there by Buchholz as he'll turn it over and go down and away. And you see all that weight on the front foot of Rosario. He is way off balance on the off-speed pitch.
One down for Eduardo Escobar, a strikeout victim in his own right. Back in the second inning, went looking.
Another good changeup. Not expecting that on the first pitch, and you see the grip by Clay Buchholz on that change.
12 out of 15 first pitch strikes for Clay Buchholz in this game. He has been ahead all night. This one's grounded foul, 0-2. And very economical as well. This is pitch 52 of his outing, with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Buchholz, 7 in all. Second time he's got Escobar by way of the K.
And again, the changeup from Buchholz. Very good one tonight. As you can see, it's down and has an awful lot of movement with it. See that ball spinning away right there from Escobar.
Two down here in the 5th, and it brings up Aaron Hicks. Grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd, and now grounds one, foul. Just outside the line at 3rd.
It's almost like Hicks was trying to do that on purpose. Sandoval in very, very tight at 3rd base, even with the 2 outs. And Hicks looked like he was trying to slap that ball right by him.
Breaking ball that time that just missed. And for every strikeout by a Red Sox pitcher at Fenway Park in June, Aetna will donate $250 to the Boston Healthcare for the Homeless program. Through their continued efforts in the local community, Aetna is helping to build a healthier world. One city, one strikeout at a time. Buchholz falling behind 2-1. See the economical breakdown for Buchholz so far. The 6-pitch 4th inning is the inning in which he gets Suzuki to ground into the 6-4-3 double play. On the ground, foul right in front of the Red Sox dugout.
Looks like another changeup.
This one up and away, and it is now a full count. First full count of the night for Clay Buchholz. There's Danny Santana waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Up and away, and there's ball 4. Second walk given up by Clay Buchholz of his outing. Comes with 2 outs here in the 5th. They'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox.
Now 2 outs in the inning. A little speed at first base in Hicks. 3 steals on the season.
Santana will take strike 1, and again Buchholz ahead. Santana grounded out to Pedroia at second base in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. Popped up foul back and to our left. Clay's last win came at Toronto against the Blue Jays back on May 10th. Since then, a no decision at Seattle, 8 innings, giving up 1 run. Then a loss against Texas, in which he went 7 1/3, giving up 2 earned runs. And then a loss last time out against these Twins, going 7 1/3, giving up only 2 runs. This does not get any offensive support. And it is true again tonight to this point. Runner goes, pitches high, late reaction from Leon, like he didn't see that he was going, and the throw is late. Stolen base for Aaron Hicks.
Well, that was a late jump or delay steal. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, delay steal. That's exactly what that was at first base. And when I say delay steal, what the runner at first base does, and it happens a lot with 2 outs because the middle infield is a deep, you'll take 2 or 3 crow hop steps. When the ball gets to the hitter, that's when you go. And you can see it was only 1 crow hop step right there, but Hicks was successful in the delay steal. That's a very good base running play.
So in scoring position now with 2 outs, 1 and 2 the count to Danny Santana. And a swing and a miss. Buchholz strikes him out, strikes out the side. 8 Ks for Buchholz, no score halfway through. Day of rest caused by a rainout. Help a starting pitcher. Text 1 for yes. Text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy.
I think I'd probably answer to that depending on where you are in the season. You know, if it's later on in the season, you're a little bit fatigued, you might enjoy that extra day off. They're so accustomed to going on 4 days rest.
Mike Napoli takes the strike, and it's even at 1-1. Mike Napoli bobblehead night here tonight at Fenway Park. Napoli with a double on his bobblehead night in the second inning. Only hit the Red Sox have in this game. Now down 1-2. Only 3 hits in this game altogether. Twins have 2. Red Sox have 1. Chili Davis, the Red Sox hitting coach, looking on here as Red Sox trying to get something going in the 5th. Pelfrey has retired 7 Red Sox in a row. Napoli, then Bogarts and Leon. Anybody gets on, and we'll see Rusney Castillo. Napoli a one-hopper to third. Plouffe has got it for the first out here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox Suites and Premium Packages provide a VIP experience for you and your guests. Call 877-RED SOX 9 or email premiumsales@redsox.com for more information. 1 out here in the 5th inning, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Bogaerts snapped an 0 for 16 stretch on Sunday at Texas. Had singles in each of his final 3 at-bats in that game on Sunday. Last 19 games hitting at .317. Bounces in for ball 2, 2-1. On the ground right side into right field, a base hit for Xander Bogaerts. His first hit of the night, the 2nd hit of the night for Boston. For every Red Sox hit in June, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Sean Thornton Foundation. Echo Store is proud to assist in helping find a cure for Parkinson's disease and pediatric cancer. To learn more, log on to echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. 1 out, 1 on for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. It brings up Sandy Leon. Leon popped out to the shortstop Danny Santana on a good running catch back in the 2nd inning. Pelfrey now from the stretch. There goes Bogaerts. A swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. And stealing second base is Bogaerts.
Yeah, it looks like the Red Sox, they were playing hit and run. Now, here's one of the only pitches you don't have to swing at if it's a hit and run. It's a ball that bounces in the dirt because, you know, that's a ball the catcher's probably not going to make a play on. But clearly the Red Sox playing hit and run right there as you can see Xander looking back in at home plate. There are very few, there's only one pitch you don't swing at on a hit and run. That's a ball that bounces in the dirt. Everything else, you've got to try to make contact.
Now Leon Cano lifts a fly ball down the left field line. Rosario over towards the line will make the catch for the second out. No advance from Bogaerts. 2 down here in the 5th inning. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down in the 5th with Xander Bogaerts at second base and Rusney Castillo coming up. Rusney grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning. Pelfrey with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball missing inside. Pelfrey signing with the Twins as a free agent. Now his 3rd year in Minnesota. That's a strike. 1-1. For 7 years in the big league, spent as a member of the New York Mets.
I didn't realize he was around that long with the Mets.
Yes. In fact, 2008, his best year, a 13-game winner that year, 3.72 earned run average. 32 starts for the Mets. In again, 2-1. Pelfrey from Wichita, Kansas.
That's tornado territory, isn't it?
Xander Bogaerts in scoring position at second base. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Rolled over foul, and it's 2-2. Base hit by Bogaerts in this inning. Broke up a string of 8 in a row. Retired by Pelfrey. So far, Pedroia has had no success against Pelfrey. 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Waits on deck with 2 down, and Bogaerts at second base. Two to Castillo. And a grounder towards Plouffe at third base. Double pumps and still gets it there in time to end the inning. Red Sox lead Bogaerts in scoring position. We played 5, no score. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway, into the 6th inning we go. Top of the order for the Minnesota Twins. Brian Dozier takes a first pitch curveball in there for strike one. Dozier struck out in the first. He walked in the 3rd inning. It's now 8 strikeouts for Buchholz, 2 walks. Running in on Dozier.
Last inning, 3 strikeouts for Buchholz, a changeup here to Rosario, a changeup to Escobar, and a cut fastball to Santana. To pick up the strikeouts and strike out the side. There was a walk also in that inning, but 3 punch outs in the inning for Buchholz.
Fly ball to right field. Castillo makes his way in. And Rusney puts it away for the first out of the inning. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. We will play 2 here tomorrow at Fenway Park. Day night doubleheader against the Minnesota Twins. And we'll get to see Eduardo Rodriguez again. He'll be matched up against Phil Hughes. And Rick Porcello and Trevor May go in the nightcap tomorrow night. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 here to Torrey Hunter. Here are the probables for the day-nighter.
A lot of baseball tomorrow at Fenway Park.
Outside to Hunter, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Looking forward to seeing that gentleman once again, Eduardo Rodriguez, who pitched so well in his major league debut. On the ground as Bogaerts shifts to his left and throws out Torrey Hunter, 2 down.
I got a chance on. I want to offer our congratulations again back in the director's chair tonight. Michael Narachi, who won an Emmy over the weekend. He was not with us in Texas for the final game. Had to come back and get his Emmy. And also Gary Streisky for Kids Clubhouse.
Yes,
winning an Emmy. So congratulations to both of those.
Guys, I just have a question, like, in terms of having that Emmy. It's the first one I've ever won part of Nesting Clubhouse. I don't know where to put it. Do I put it next to my bobblehead collection? Is that impressive?
No.
You put it by your TV.
Its own shelf? What do I do?
You start a new collection. You don't put it in bobbleheads. You start a new collection.
It's the only collection of other stuff that I have. You know what I mean?
What are you? You're only 12 years old, for crying out loud. You're going to win more.
True. I have a second place award that I won in Wyoming. Do I put it next to that?
Nah. Put the second place one behind it.
Throw that away. Okay, I'm being told to throw that one away. That's
I'd toss that. Now that you're an official Emmy winner, you got to toss the other one.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Much appreciated, guys. Thank you.
An outstanding show.
Thank you. A lot of hard work behind it. Justine Puravelis, producer behind it. Of course, TJ, everybody else that works it. It's good times.
2 down here in the 6th inning. Joe Mauer waiting on an 0-2 pitch. And Mauer grounds one towards Pedroia. That will wrap up the top of the 6th inning as Buchholz continues to deal. Scoreless from Fenway. Sox final presented by Uno's. TC and Tim Wakefield will preview Eduardo Rodriguez's start tomorrow, coming off his impressive Major League debut in Texas. On to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Dustin Pedroia leading it off. Pedroia grounded out to third base in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Pedroia bats and Ortiz here in the bottom of the 6th. Pelfrey has walked a batter, struck out a batter. Not a huge strikeout night for him, but a lot of ground ball outs in this game. Here's a ground ball back up the middle. It'll find its way into center field. Red Sox, for the first time tonight, have the lead runner on.
Well, last time out for Eduardo Rodriguez, who's pitching in Game 1 tomorrow here at Fenway. Outstanding with his fastball, his sliders, and changeups. 2 walks in the ball game, control the strike zone, worked very quickly, and shut down a very difficult Texas Ranger ball club.
And again, he will be in Game 1 tomorrow. Hope you'll be along with us. First pitch at 1:35 here tomorrow. Matched up against Phil Hughes, a right-hander going for the Minnesota Twins. For first, and back to the bag is Pedroia. Outfield about straight away in the outfield here on Betts. And a base hit into center field for Betts. Pedroia will take second base, and the first 2 Red Sox have reached here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Mookie jumping on that first fastball that time and hitting it very hard up the middle. Fastball right down the middle of the plate, just a little bit inside, and that's a pitch that Betts loves right there, and he rifles it right back up the middle. So, Red Sox with a couple of men on, nobody out.
2 on, nobody out. David Ortiz has flied out to center, grounded out to first base. And David will take strike 1. So now the table's set here for Ortiz and Ramirez coming up in the 6th inning. Ortiz now, Ramirez next. Fouled off of Suzuki, and it's 0-2.
That's going to make him limp around a little bit behind the plate. Ooh, right off that left knee.
Mike Pelfrey's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5+, 4 hits, no runs. A walk and a K. Red Sox putting together back-to-back hits here for the first time in the game. And now a grounder towards second base. Dozier flips to second for 1, on to first for 2. On to third base goes Pedroia, but Ortiz grounds into the double play.
Well, we've seen Dozier make a couple of nice plays in this ball game. One going to his left as he dove, and this time going to his right. Under the glove of Pelfrey, which was a good thing for Minnesota. Well, that's a nice feed right there, but let a high. It really gives an opportunity for the shortstop to see the ball well, clear himself for the runner, and make that throw to first base. Beautiful feed right there. That's, I mean, that's exactly where the shortstop wants it.
So 2 down, Pedroia at third base. Second time the Red Sox have had a runner to third. As Ramirez now stands in, trying to drive him in, shows bunt, and takes a strike.
Now that surprised about everybody in the ballpark right there. Hanley faking a bunt down that third baseline.
Doing some dancing down there is Pedroia. Fly ball down the right field line. Should go foul and will into the seats. Two outs and runners in scoring position has not been Hanley's best thing. 174 the average. Pedroia at third base with 2 down in the inning.
See Pelfrey, as most split-fingered fastball pitchers do, they set up with the ball that way, and then they make the adjustment in the glove if they're going to a different pitch.
Ramirez to left center field. Rosario moving over. He will get there. The running grab to end the inning as the Red Sox leave Pedroia at third, still scoreless through 6. Just one Nexium 24-hour day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and pick up a Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. Swing and a miss for strike one to Trevor Plouffe. Scoreless contest into the 7th inning. Plouffe 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out swinging, popped out to second base. Red Sox leaving Pedroia at third base. This is to right field, and Rusney Castillo for the first out of the 7th. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Tim Wakefield break down tonight's game, and you'll hear from John Farrell and Clay Buchholz. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? One out in the 7th inning. And it brings up Kurt Suzuki. He has grounded out twice to Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Last time up, bounced into the 6-4-3 double play. Both teams have turned a double play in tonight's game. There is pitch number 75 from Buchholz, and it's in there for strike one. Well, 2 hits. A single by Torrey Hunter in the first, single by Joe Mauer in the 4th. Another night where Clay Buchholz has been outstanding, and another night when the Red Sox have been unable to get him any runs. Rick Porcello will be pitching in Game 2 tomorrow night. On the ground to the backhand goes Bogaerts, plants and throws. Dug out on the other side by Napoli. Suzuki retired, and there are 2 outs here in the 7th. Lace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 2 down here in the 7th, and it brings up Eddie Rosario. He has struck out twice, all time swinging. Now hooks one, diving at second. Pedroia from the outfield grass. His throw will be late. Good diving bid by Pedroia, but could not get it and get to his feet fast enough to get Rosario.
And Rosario has very good speed, and unfortunately for Pedroia, after knocking it down, the ball goes behind him to the outfield side of him. And he has to track it down by making a jump back for it, and that's all it took, really, for Rosario with his speed to beat it out. A lot of times you'll see those baseballs go toward first base. Instead, that time it goes toward the outfield, and that's the difference.
So a base hit for Rosario, the 3rd hit of the night for Minnesota. Eduardo Escobar has struck out twice in tonight's game. A base hit by Rosario breaks up a string of 6 in a row retired by Clay Buchholz.
And you may see him running here on this pitch. 2 outs in the inning, try to get in a scoring position. A 0-0 ball game.
Missing outside, 2-0. Buchholz has not had to work from the stretch very much in tonight's game, but does here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. See the lead for Rosario at first base. It's a little wider now. Buchholz noticed and almost tripping getting back there was Rosario at first.
Looked like he was in between whether to dive back or go back feet first. Looked like he started to dive and then said, well, wait a minute, this bag's not that far away. I'll just go back in standing up.
In there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
If he's going to run, he'll probably run on this count here.
The action count of 2-1. We'll see if we get any action. Not going, and a line drive to right at Rusney Castillo coming in to make the catch on the sinking liner. It's 7th inning stretch without a score from Fenway.
Some opportunities tonight, a few times with men at third base. As the ground ball to the infield with Sandoval at third. He's out at home plate. Fly ball by Sandy Leone with a man at third, and Danny Santana making a catch, and Hanley Ramirez last inning with a line drive out to left field. That's tracked down by Rosario. Red Sox held off the board. Nobody has scored yet in this one.
Pablo Sandoval lead it off here in the 7th inning. And a swing and a miss at the high fastball at 93 miles an hour from Pelfrey. Sandoval with a walk in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Popped up shallow center. Shortstop out. Center fielder in, and Aaron Hicks is there to make the catch. Vacated by Santana, the shortstop, for the first out of the 7th inning. But tonight, after our Red Sox coverage, NESN Sports Today. Jamison Coyle and Nicky Reyes will have Drew Bledsoe's reaction to Tom Brady's suspension. And Al Duncan goes one-on-one with Wes Welker. That's tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. One out in the 7th for Mike Napoli. Napoli doubled in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to third base in the 5th. On the last outing against the Red Sox, Pelfrey went 7 innings, giving up 1 run in his first career win against the Red Sox. And here he is so far, 6 1/3 deep into this outing. Has not allowed a run and only 4 hits. Paul Warner's got to be happy with his pitching so far. 2-0 pitch. Napoli fouls it off to the right out of play on a pitch running in.
That's really the area you're looking into when you have the count in your favor, 2 balls and no strikes, and that's a fastball from the middle of the plate in.
Fly ball down the right field line. Torrey Hunter over towards the dirt of the track and onto it to make the catch for the 2nd out of the 7th inning. H.B. Hood knows that nothing is crueler than a child struck by cancer, and that we desperately need to fund research. We thank Hood for their contributions to the Red Sox Foundation, a benefactor of the Jimmy Fund. We salute Hood for helping us find research so that we can conquer cancer. 2 outs in the 7th for Xander Bogaerts. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, single to right field in the 5th. Tomorrow at 12:30, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Tim Wakefield will take an in-depth look at the upcoming MLB draft. Bogaerts at 373 in the 7th inning or later. Batting with the bases empty here in the 7th. And taking strike 2. Borderline call there from Mike Machlinski, the home plate umpire.
That's what happens, though, when you get games like this. I mean, guys pitching very, very well. They'll get those close pitches. 2 pitches at the top of their game tonight.
Bogaerts drives this up towards deep center field. Back goes Aaron Hicks at the wall. It is off the wall. Ricochet to Hicks as Bogaerts pulls it up with a double. Almost got it out of here to center field, but a 2-out double. 2nd hit of the night for Xander Bogaerts.
Well, Bogaerts doing his part offensively. That's a split-fingered fastball that stays up in the zone that time. Did not dip at all. And Bogaerts not missing a home run by very much. takes it to center field and just off that 379. Chili Davis likes that. Get a man in a scoring position with 2 outs.
6th double of the year for Bogaerts. 12 2-hit game. 2 down, and Bogaerts at second for Sandy Leon. And Leon takes strike 1. He came up with runners at first and third in the second and popped out. The Danny Santana to the shortstop, then came up with Bogaerts at second in the 5th and flied out to left field. So 0 for 2. Ball 2, 2-1.
Didn't miss by very much, and again in a game like this, a lot of times we'll see this pitch call a strike, but not that time.
Down and in a sprawling play by Suzuki. Leon ahead here, 3-1. 92 pitches tonight now for Pelfrey.
First base open and the right-hander on deck. No guarantee that Leon is going to see a fastball here on the 3-1 count.
We're going to talk it over. Suzuki, the catcher, headed out to talk to Pelfrey. Went back and forth initially.
Well, Pelfrey's a big dude, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Three balls and a strike to Sandy Leon with 2 down in the inning. Tonight's Sox Culture brought to you by Kettle One Vodka. Big pitch here from Pelfrey. 3-1 the count. And that is ball 4. So down to first goes Leon. Just the second walk for Pelfrey. And the Red Sox have 2 on with 2 outs.
Well, they got the fastball, but it was not for a strike. See if Leon would chase something outside. He did not, and draws the walk.
As we get to the later stages of this game, a big at bat here for Rusney Castillo. He has grounded out twice to Trevor Plouffe at third base. All of this coming with 2 down in the inning. Bogaerts with a double off the wall in center. The walk to Leon. Now Rusney Castillo. Down low for ball 1. .94 pitches right now for Pelfrey, and so far nobody warming in the pen. Even though Pelfrey is now up over his average. Looks like somebody's going to be getting up right now. Strike 1. Bogaerts at second, Leon at first with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And Castillo fouls it off. A fastball that was headed in. Well, tomorrow at 1, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Tim Wakefield to preview Eduardo Rodriguez's start in Game 1 against the Twins. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? There is action now in the pen. Casey Fiend and Aaron Thompson both up here for Minnesota. Castillo lines it foul. A little bit of a hanger there, and he rips it foul.
Yeah, out in front of the hanger, as you mentioned, Don, and hit it very hard, but not in fair territory. That's a splitter again, and it does nothing. It just stays up in the zone inside, and Castillo out in front of it, pulling it foul right over the head of the third base umpire, Foster. Last couple of splits that Pelfrey has thrown have not been very good ones.
Now the 1-2. And Castillo fouls it back, a fastball that was up. Pelfrey's been pretty consistent in that area, 93 miles an hour throughout the night.
Fastball upstairs this time, and the foul ball by Castillo. He's seen basically fastballs in this at bat.
20th pitch of the inning coming up here for Pelfrey. He's got the double-barreled action going on behind him with 2 outs here in the 7th. Red Sox have Bogarts at second, Leon at first. Castillo grounds it up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Xander Bogaerts being waved around. Throw will go to third base. He will be out, but the run scores, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. So Rusney Castillo drives in the game's first run. Advantage as the Red Sox able to finally push across a run.
Well, in that at bat, he saw an awful lot of fastballs from Pelfrey and finally found one that he liked and drives it right back up the middle. Good play in the center field by Hicks to get the runner at third base. But the big thing here is the Red Sox finally push across a run with 2 outs in the inning. All that coming with 2 outs in the inning.
Aaron Hicks leading it off and taking a curveball for ball 1. So Pelfrey gives up the game's first run. So 99 pitches through his first 7 innings. The 1-0 to Hicks. He'll take the strike. Clay Buchholz's pitching line brought to you by Ace Tickets. 7+, 3 hits, no runs. He was walked 2, struck out 8, and 84 pitches deep into this outing as he works here to the first batter of the 8th inning. And Hicks drives one to deep right field. Rusney Castillo back at the wall to make the catch. Right in front of the wall. As it appeared, Hicks was going to get that into the bullpen. Not so fast, says Rusney Castillo.
Oh, I thought so. When that ball left the bat, I thought it had enough to get out of here. But instead, Castillo goes right back to the wall. Watch him put his hand up toward the wall. See how much room he's got. Makes the leap. And takes a home run away from Aaron Hicks. When that ball made contact, I thought it was gone.
Now 1 out here. Hicks retired, a loud out, but the first out of the 8th. Now Danny Santana runs up and shows bunt. Takes ball 1. There is action for the Red Sox. Double barreled. Tommy Lane and Shinichi Tozawa both up. Hicks thought he had gone deep, but instead he is out number 1 of the inning. 2-0. Santana batting out of the number 9 spot in the order for Minnesota has grounded out to second and struck out swinging. Now he takes ball 3.
The last thing Buchholz wants to do here, obviously, is put a man on base, but especially the number 9 man in the batting order who has been struggling.
The third 3-ball count all night. There's a strike right down the middle. In there for strike 2. Full count. Nice battle back there by Buchholz.
Goes to the cut fastball on the 3-1 count. No straight fastball for Santana. Shakes off the changeup.
Shaking off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. He wants to cut her away. Cut her away.
And it's on the ground right side. Pedroia sliding to his left. Throws out Santana. 2 down in the 8th.
You see that last fastball, a cut fastball from Clay Buchholz. Nice play by Pedroia at second base, and the Red Sox have the second out.
Meek Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down in the 8th inning. Brian Dozier, the batter. Dozier hits it on the ground. Bogarts rounds in behind it and throws out Dozier. Buchholz through 8. Has a 1-0 lead from Fenway. On Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Now, Clay Buchholz, outstanding in this game here tonight. Appears to be done after 8 innings worth of work, as he throws 92 pitches and has a 1-0 lead. Mike Pelfrey's night is over after his 7-inning effort, and he heads to the clubhouse trailing by a run and on the hook in this game. Well pitched ball game, both sides. Casey Fiend into his 12th game of the year, 1-2, with a 3.65 ERA. And a first pitch strike to Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia with a single in the 6th inning, a 1-for-3 night. Yanked and back to the backstop. Red Sox have the closer up, Koji Uehara. Uehara, who took his second loss and blown save of the season on Sunday, his last outing in Texas. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Allowing 2 unearned runs to come across in the bottom of the 9th inning. That game in Texas, Red Sox would love to add some insurance here as they bat in the bottom of the 8th. Pedroia did not go, says Mike Winters, first base umpire. Count evens at 2-2. Success for Pedroia against Fiend, but not this time. Breaking ball away, and Pedroia goes chasing for the first out of the 8th.
Pretty nasty cutter right there by Fiend as he gets Pedroia down.
Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Visit alltown.com for a location near you. One out in the 8th for Mookie Betts. Betts has popped out to second, lined out to left, and last time up, singled to center field. David Ortiz waiting on deck. 0-for-3 nights so far for Big Papi. Hitter's only hitting at .234 against Casey Fiend. Strike over the outside corner, and he's jumped ahead of Betts. Fiend on the DL, missing 25 games for the Twins with a right shoulder strain. Came back on May the 29th. Skips in for ball 2. More action behind Fiend as Aaron Thompson remains up, and Ryan Presley has now joined Thompson in the Twins' pen.
I think you'll see Thompson in against Ortiz.
To right field, Torrey Hunter moving over to make the catch for the second out of the 8th. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment. All season long, Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. In their 52nd game of the 75 season, the Red Sox fell to the White Sox 9-2. Bob Coluccio had a 2-run home run for Chicago as Jim Burton took the loss for the Red Sox. Twins into the shift here on Big Papi. David 0-for-3. Slide out to center, grounded out to first, and bounced into a double play. And take strike 1 from Fiend. Ortiz 1-for-2 with a home run against Casey Fiend in his career. and is down 0-2. David 4 for his last 23. And a base hit back up the middle into center field. So David Ortiz with a 2-out single here in the 8th inning. Red Sox get their 7th hit of the game.
That's something you very rarely see when they go into the shift against David Ortiz. Finds a hole in that area to pick up a base hit. They left Santana at that shortstop position, and Big Papi goes up the middle for the base hit.
With 2 outs, David Ortiz at first and Hanley Ramirez coming up. 0 for 3 night for Hanley. He's lined out to second, grounded back to the mound and lined out to left. On the ground by the mound, but out to Santana at short. He will throw to first and get Hanley Ramirez to end the inning. We head to the 9th where it'll be Koji time. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Pine Ridge Park Casino coming June 24th, the closest casino to Boston. And by the Scion TC. 1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Minnesota Twins. To the top of the 9th we go. Defensive change for the Red Sox. Brock Holt takes over in left field for Hanley Ramirez. And the new pitcher, the closer, Koji Uehara. 19th appearance, 2-2 with a 1.69 earned run average. And again, did blow his last save. He is 10 out of 12 in the save category on the year. The toughest part of this Twins order coming up here in the 9th inning. It starts with Torrey Hunter. Then Joe Mauer and Trevor Plouffe expected here in the top of the 9th. There is Mauer waiting on deck. On the ground to the backhand at shortstop for Bogarts. 1 out in the 9th. Time now to check out the results of tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked, does an extra day of rest caused by a rainout help a starting pitcher? And 62% feel that it does. 1 down here in the 9th inning for Joe Mauer. Singled in the 4th inning as one of only 3 Twins hits in the game. Clay Buchholz tonight going 8 innings, giving up 3 hits and no runs. Tonight's game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Pelfrey very good as well, but he's on the hook as he goes 7 innings, giving up 1 earned run. Buchholz 8 innings, no runs, striking out 8. Number at the plate is a foul ball as Leon tried to jump out there before it went foul. Jerry, tonight, Clay Buchholz spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely terrific by Buchholz tonight. I mean, command of all of his pitches in this game tonight. We saw some great changeups. We saw the curveball, the usual cutter, some 2-seamers. Very, very good.
0-2 to Joe Mauer. Outside. Vihar, as you mentioned, taking his 2nd loss and blown save of the season on Sunday at Texas, allowing 2 unearned runs to come across in the bottom of the 9th. With 2 outs and a runner at 3rd, they intentionally walked Prince Fielder. And then it was Josh Hamilton who won the game. Time out for tonight's T-Mobile game changer. And Rusney Castillo with the base hit that gives the Red Sox the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Frustrated Mike Pelfrey, who pitched so well here tonight. 2nd straight good outing against Boston, and big RBI for Rusney. Now Mauer strikes out for out number 2 of the 9th.
I love what Uehara did with the last 2 pitches. He elevated the fastball, got the swing and foul ball by Mauer. Then he goes back to the split-fingered fastball down and out of the strike zone and gets the strikeout. There you see the split grip, the ball in the dirt. Leon has to tag Mauer. 2 outs.
2 down here in the 9th for Trevor Plouffe, who is 0 for 3. Struck out in the 1st, popped out to 2nd in the 4th, lined out to right in the 7th. And takes ball 1. Plouffe bats now. Suzuki on deck. Uehara would like to take care of business right here as he falls behind 2-0.
Be careful here. Plouffe might have a green light.
Swing and a miss. He did. And the splitter from Uehara.
Uehara well aware of that, and he goes to the split-fingered fastball. No fastball for Plouffe on the 3-0 count.
Swing and a miss and a full count.
Well, that might be the best splitter he's thrown so far tonight. Watch the bottom fall out of this.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Fenway Park stands as 1. Just inside, and that is ball 4. Down to first base goes Plouffe. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game. And a catch by Rusney Castillo. Up against the wall. Like Aaron Hicks had tied this game, but back there was Castillo, and certainly happy was Clay Buchholz. Now the tying run at first base for Minnesota with 2 outs in the 9th. And Kurt Suzuki coming up. Going to be a pinch hitter now, as Eduardo Nunez is going to pinch run. It's going to be Suzuki at the plate. So Nunez runs for Plouffe at first. Foul tip for strike 1. Suzuki is grounded to short, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th inning, and grounded out to short again in the 7th. Runner goes. The pitch is going to be a foul ball. You get a piece of that?
Yeah, foul ball.
0-2. So back to the bag at first goes Nunez. Oh, 2 with 2 down here in the ninth.
Fastball up.
And Suzuki fouls it back. Again, that fastball only at 87 miles an hour for Koji Uehara.
Well, to follow a pattern now, after the fastball up, we should probably see him try to go to that splitter down. And you see the setup for the high fastball. Now let's see if they go back to the splitter downstairs. Oh, fastball up again.
Trying to go up top once again. 1-2. Nunez at first base, held on by Napoli. 2 outs here in the ninth.
Fastball again.
Fly ball headed out towards left center field. Mookie Betts coming in and under. Red Sox win. Well, a good start to the homestand for the Red Sox. They get only 1 run tonight, but the pitching was so good that's all they need as the Red Sox are victorious. And they shut out the Minnesota Twins. 8 outstanding innings from Clay Buchholz tonight, and some timely hitting from Rusney Castillo, who drives in the game's only run, and Koji Uehara back to saving games with success for the Red Sox. So Boston wins this one 1-0. And Tom Caron, a good start to the homestand for Boston.